Hello my fiery friends, the Infernoman here with our latest gameplay and exhibition video to show you. In this series, we highlight a random deck on MTG Arena, and it can range from a spicy homebrew to a tier 1 meta deck that's hot on ranked. And if you do like these videos and anything I do, all I ask for you is to give a like on this video and subscribe to the channel so you can enjoy everything from my gameplay, deck techs, booster pack openings, and so much more. If you do like the deck, I will leave a link in the details below so you can give it a spin on Arena for yourself. Keep in mind that these videos will be pure gameplay, no commentary style, so you can enjoy the game, and if you want to, you can see my final thoughts on this deck at the end of the match. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And that was our gameplay, everyone. Wow. I didn't think that last match actually was going to go the way it did. Our opponent basically had our game plan, but in a slightly different version. But anyway, I still thought that was cool enough for us to keep on the actual video. So, real quick, if you do enjoy what we just did right now, here's basically what you saw with the game plan. We have 2 plans to the deck, technically 2.5. Of course, you kind of saw the main game plan is we're just trying to try to dump out all of our lands, get the landfall triggers from the Scoot Swarm, and then once we have enough mana out, we try to get our escape shift, sacrifice everything we do. You want to try to make sure you get out at least your broker's hideouts. That way they do a second trigger along with the Scoot Swarm out, so that we make a ton of bugs and just swarm your opponent to get to victory. To help us get there, of course, you kind of saw we have cards like Lotus Cobra. Of course, we're using cards like Druid Class to help us stay alive. We have Root Snares to protect ourselves from aggro decks in the main deck. Plan B to the deck is we just mill out our opponent. So you have a set of Ruin Crabs. And of course, we don't have that many in this deck. So obviously, we're going to use Glasspool Mimic to kind of try to help fudge and get ourselves a couple extra copies. We also have Colossal Sky Turtle. This single copy card may look a little weird in the main game plan, but here's 2 reasons why I have it. 1, you can use this channel ability to kind of give us a little bit of a tempo play, or 2, the Colossal Sky Turtle otherwise basically just beats down our opponent if we really have to do that in a pinch. Also, we can use that Glasspool Mimic to copy this and also just create a bunch of flying turtles to smash our opponent. Not too much else really to the deck. I honestly think it's really janky, and there wasn't really a reason for us to use Yorion, but because it needs so many landfall triggers, I figured let's just throw in Yorion, let's just throw in a bunch of extra lands. So that's mainly the reason for that. However, you can build this with a 60 card deck, but I would recommend 80 cards using Yorion. Why not? It just gives you a lot more to work with. As far as the sideboard plan is concerned, pretty much it's just a hodgepodge of everything you need, some tempo stuff to get rid of things like Ether Gust, Disdainful Stroke, you have some Mystical Disputes, Broken Wings of course to destroy some artifacts. If we can't really get any of our flying creatures out like that Colossal Sky Turtle, Broken Wings is what we have for that, same with Shark Typhoon. And then for spiciness, depending on what your opponent is playing, you could swap out this Colossal Sky Turtle. You can bring in Hullbreaker Horror versus, say, Control decks. If you have to go wider and bigger, you can use Komok Cosmos Serpent. And of course, if you want to have a little bit more of a jankier beatdown plan with Scoot Swarm, bring in Enray's Forerunners. This is actually hilarious to utilize. I would love to use Crater Hoof Behemoth, but remember, this deck is built for Explorer. However, if you go into Historic, then bring in the Crater Hoof, and then you can make some massive bugs out of that. But otherwise, my only other final thought with the deck is I might want to tweak the land base just a little bit, so probably add in some more basics. And you actually don't need as many dual lands as you think for this deck. So if you want to try to save up some wild cards, you don't have to go all in on the duels. I would say instead get more of the lands from Capenna, the ones that basically sack and then instantly make you search for a forest or island. And then for that, you probably don't even need the Fatal Passages. You basically just want to try to get as many of those kinds of triggers from Broker's Hideout as much as possible. Otherwise, I really don't have much else to say about this except that, again, I wouldn't go out of my way to build this, but when it goes off, it is hilarious when it does, as you saw from that first game. Give it a try if you have the wild cards for it, and I'm sure you will not be disappointed. That's all I have for you today. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. Later.